The backfield runs through the contact and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Yes, got a little hoops homage to women's hoops as the tournament rolls on, my friends. But welcome into Thirsty Thursday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Carrots Noodle at Diablos005_ on the good old X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. Yes, check the show live out there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, you can hit up the good old IG. I know I may have mentioned that once or twice, huh? Have you heard about that, Pitchfork Lunchers? Yes, you can go to my my IG, which is pretty easy. Which is pretty easy. All you do is go to Instagram and it's at michael.carrotsnudo.5. I know, add a dot between the first and last name and then add a .5 and then bam. There you are, checking it out on the good old IG. And I know, last but definitely not least, guys, go to YouTube and yes, watch live on YouTube, but also subscribe, my friends. Because when you do subscribe, check this out. When you do subscribe, when you do subscribe, guess what? You can, get all caught up on the beautiful stuff that you have missed, because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, my friends. And I mean, I really don't think you want to miss more. Yeah, I really don't think you want to miss more. So, I mean, that in and of itself, you would want to miss. So, because you have missed, like I said, a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, a lot of alum from many, many generations spread across, coaches that are alum. It's very, very awesome. And and you're going to want to check it out. So I'm just saying. Don't be bashful. Subscribe to the wonderful YouTube channel. And again, you'll get all caught up and the interweavings. And tomorrow, Football Pro Day, too. Going to be out there for that. No, not bringing it to you live, but it'll be a very, very awesome day. So, yes. Yesterday I was out at the last round of the women's Ping Invitational. And I'll get to that in a second. The YouTube, wrap it up. That's what I'm saying. You want to subscribe to the YouTube. You want to be a part of it because my friends, you have missed a lot, like I said. And Pitchfork Lunchers, I love the fact that you're here. I definitely love the fact that you're here, but I'm going to say, shame on you. Where have you been? So that's why I got you covered, though. So you go to YouTube, you watch live, but also subscribe, and you see my name, Michael Carrots. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. So yes, subscribe away, because again, you can get all caught up. And when I say all caught up, that's why I said shame on you. Where have you been? You can watch season 1, binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3, and then as you get into it, wrap those up, and you'll see a lot of times, because the con reviews, because again, we have people on multiple times. They don't just talk about the same thing every time. I mean, some things obviously the sport wise are gonna overlap, but got to keep it spicy here on Pitchfork Lunch. You guys know that. That's why we like Taco Tuesday. We like spicy tacos on Taco Tuesday. So yes, again, it's at Emerson Michael V's and Victory Season Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away, my friends. So yeah, yesterday, like I said, it was out at the final round. Hope you guys got the, I'm sure you guys got the notification as to the programming alert, as again, I wasn't going to miss. I could have did the show, but then I would have just been by the 18th hole, not too far, and, see who's coming in. So again, out at Women's Golf, Missy Farquet, phenomenal coach. We're going to hear from her. They did finish second. Did the Devils at the ASU Ping Invitational, or the Ping ASU Invitational. USC, who got off to that insane start, and who about this for Missy Farquet, 17 under par in round one. Then they shot, they were really human on round two. They shot 7 under as a team. Round three, they decided, and they shot a +1. No, but still 23 under, absolutely phenomenal. ASU 12 under par. They went 6 under in round one, 4 under in round two, and then 2 under yesterday. So they picked up 3 shots on USC yesterday. So again, teams that like to make a charge. So that, yes, very, very awesome. But yeah, they were 12 under. But yeah, the top 4. So like I said, SC 23 under, or Devils forks up at 12 under. Cal State Fullerton, who, man, they had their golfer who won it was the individual champ by 1 stroke, and there was a 4-way tie for second. By the way, I'll get to that in a minute. But ASU 12 under, and then Fullerton was 9 under, and Baylor finished the tournament 7 under, and Baylor was 13 under par. They shot 6 over yesterday. You look at USC at +1, ASU and Fullerton both under par. ASU, like I said, -2, Fullerton -4. Kansas, who finished 5th, they were 3 over yesterday. Oregon State improved tons every round. They were 8 over in round 1. Then they shot even par, and then they were 2 under yesterday. One more round, hell, they may have been 4 under. But they were 2 under yesterday, and then everybody else was over par yesterday. UCLA was 7 over, so was Washington. Abilene Christian was 3 over. Northwestern was 13 over. NAU 7 over. New Mexico 8 over. Florida Atlantic 19 over. Denver was 20 over. Hawaii 18 over. And Drake was 14 over for the day. But yeah, you look at the ranked teams. SC number 2, ASU number 23, Cal State Fullerton was 40, Baylor is 26, Kansas is number 36, Oregon State number 46, UCLA, again, just not the tournament, they're at 14, Northwestern, same for them, very good, they're number 19. So 8 ranked teams in a field of 16. So yeah, half the field in the top 50. But yeah, just a strong showing. And by the way, last year the award for goes to those freshmen with the lowest score. Last year it went to Isla McDonald O'Brien, who shot 3 over for tournament. She was even in round 1 and round 3, and then shot 3 over in round 2. But yeah, she had the low score for the freshman last year. And then this year, she also finished tied for second. But Rubrong, Pisa Rubrong finished 7 under par, 1 shot back from Davina Zahn, who just crushed it from Cal State Fullerton. who shot 8 under. This is crazy because Zahn was 4 under in round 1, 4 under in round 2. So you're like, oh, yeah. And then shot even par, or 4 under in round 1, 4 under in round 3, shot even par in round 2. But, yeah, for Pimpisa Rubrong, she was 7 under. She was 4 under, she was 2 under, and then 4 under, and then 1 under. So, yeah, I mean, no rounds over par for her. And she finished tied for second, which, but it's a freshman, and you'll hear, I mean, didn't get here until January. So again, it's, man, they're charging into Big 12s. They got a few weeks before that, obviously. Patience Rhodes, Beth Coulter headed to the Masters, or the chance to play at Augusta. But they're headed there. And then they have Big 12s in a few weeks. We're going to hear from Missy Farquet. So, again, stoked for that. But that's where, player-wise, ASU, I mean, again, tied for second with Rubrong. And then Beth Coulter finished tied for 12th at 3 under. Solid for her. She was even in round 1, and then 1 under, and then 2 under. And I'm sure if they played today, she would have been 3 under. So, yeah. But yeah, Beth Coulter playing strong, and then she finished tied for 12th, and then Paula Scholes Hansen finished tied for 14th at 2 under for the Devils. And then Johanna Axelson finished 2 over. She shot even round 1 and 2, and then shot 2 over yesterday, so she finished tied for 25th. And then Isla McDonald O'Brien finished, like I said, at 3 over, tied for 28th. But, yeah, I mean, it's – and I will say one of the biggest shots that I saw yesterday – was Zara Ali from Cal State Fullerton on 18 there. If you've played Papago, guys, you know that that whole dog leg's right. And, I mean, they're playing it, in the green, trying to push it down the green instead of maybe going over the desert. Yeah, she went over the desert. Nonetheless, though, I'm just saying that's absolutely it was a hell of a shot. And she was the only one on her team actually yesterday to birdie that. There was a par, and then 2 pars, 3 bogeys, and then she had the birdie. But yeah, hell of a shot. Hell of a shot is all I can say on that. But also baseball, guys, recap. Baseball gets the 10-4 win over New Mexico State. We're going to hear from Willie Bloomquist. We're going to hear from New Contradas, who pinch hit over the weekend. I know I mentioned that on Monday and stuff, talked about it, but working New back in. But, yeah, he had crushed a home run yesterday, as did Landon Harrison, who this kid, man, I mean, came in batting .452, just more hits, more walks, more RBIs. Like, yeah, I have to look it up because I was thinking if they give an award, and I'm not saying no that they come up with awards, but if there's any award for leadoff hitters, there's nobody else that is. I'm not saying guys haven't put up good numbers, but I have not seen anybody doing it like this. It is unbelievable what he's doing. They put up 8 runs in the first, ended up getting 2 more later on, but still, I mean, they get the 10-4 win. The pitching looked solid last night. But, yeah, we'll hear from Coach, hear from New Contradas, Landon Harrison, and Josh Butler, who came in a relief. And, well, I mean, it was a bullpen game, so I take it back. But, yeah, Colin Linder started again, looked a little bit – and you'll hear from Coach a little bit smoother. But, yeah, I mean, Harrison last night, guys, 2 for 3, 2 walks. He drove in 1, scored 3. I mean, 2 for 3 and 2 walks. Didn't strike out. Like, And the kid came in batting 452. Like you'll hear from him. It's awesome. I'm not there. And then Josh Butler, like I said, he spoke and or he was part of a post game as well. He got the win, but he went because Linder went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned, but he had 6 Ks. Did give up 3 walks. Butler comes in 2 innings, gives up just 1 hit, 5 Ks, no walks, 24 pitches, 20 of them strikes. Yeah, you want to talk about dominant and efficient and effective? Josh Butler's pitcher would be in the dictionary next to it from last night. And then Austin Musso came in 1 inning. He did give up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned. They did kick. You'll hear about it. There was a few fielding errors and some, again, they played a lot of baseball in the last few days, so not really practicing to clean up stuff, more so mental. But, they got West Virginia coming in this weekend. But nonetheless, Musso and then Colby Guy, who coached, talk about 1 inning, all zeros for him, except for 2 Ks, no walks, 18 pitches, 10 strikes. And then Finn Edwards came in, 1 strikeout, no walks, zeros the rest of the way, 15 pitches, 10 were strikes. And then Eli Buxton, who, a little bit of a challenge last time, but went 1 inning, had a strikeout, no walks, no hits, no runs, 13 pitches, and 8 of those were strikes. So, pitching is doing 8 different pitchers for New Mexico State, but we'll get to that. So, spring practice still obviously going on, my friends. As you know, we're just getting started. It's in the early parts of it, but and we're going to hear from Coach Aguano, Coach Dillingham, and Coach Aguano today. We got to get to a lot. So, men's tournament continues tonight too. By the way, Sweet 16 getting rolling. So it's that time of year, my peeps. Softball, they are headed to North Carolina again. Like I said, they're playing NC State, Marist, and North Carolina. As I would have had a bye, so Coach put this little challenge on the schedule, which I love to see. Like I said, baseball's got West Virginia. Water polo will be at UCLA this weekend. It wasn't last weekend. It was this weekend. I know. Give me a hard time. So that is that. But we're going to step aside. When we get back, we're going to hear from women's golf head coach Missy Farquet. And then we'll recap baseball and hear from Coach Bloomquist and obviously from New Contratus, like I said, the fireball, the Enfuego hitter, like cannot be touched. Everything is a beach ball and probably looks like it's coming at 5 miles an hour. Love it. Landon Harrison and Josh Butler. So we'll take a break and then hear from them on the other side here on Pitchfork Lunch. Oops. All right, back here on Pitchfork Launch. Yes, I'm Michael Caratino at Diablo005 _ on X, or formerly known as the Twitter. Also, check out my IG, Michael.Caratino.5, and the YouTube channel, guys. Watch live, but subscribe. It's at M's and Michael, V's and Victory, C's and Champ 005, at MVC005, and subscribe anyway. But yes, we're going to get right to it. I mean, she, again, does such a phenomenal job. And, again, putting on the ASU Ping Invitational, and it's the one they host. So they travel around a lot, as we know, this international team. So yeah, let's hear from Coach. Golf coach, my golf game still stinks. Not her fault, my fault, right. But because I paid attention to her. Missy Farkey joining me after, man, it just seems like we were here last year, like 5 months ago for the 2025 Ping Invitational. Right. Yeah. But the 2026, I mean, Ping ASU Invitational, and you guys, I mean, you go to tournaments and a lot of teams, so it's like it's almost like they kind of owe you a favor. But this tournament's so awesome that, man, the field is just insane. Let's start with that. How I mean, very good field here in 2026, but just getting these fields. Like, I didn't ask you this last year. I thought about that. Like, I got to think a lot of schools want to come, and I mean, you can only be so much.
We have a big waiting list, and we want to have a nice assortment of teams. You know, USC 1 played very well. We got close, but not close enough. And USC is ranked 2 in the country, and I think that's their 3rd win in a row. So they're playing great, some great golf, and some really great teams. And they travel to get here. We try to do our best to host. We only host once a year. Thank goodness. It's a lot of work to host all of these schools, and our staff, our ASU staff, is phenomenal. The Papago staff's phenomenal. It's really important that we do a great job so we have teams that continue to want to come back. And because the level of play, we want to be playing top teams, getting ourselves ready to go into the postseason.
Absolutely. And that's another thing too, like Coach, when you talk about that, I mean, like you said, USC 1 last year. I mean, it was a little breezy. One of the days was a little overcast. Today, right. March, 100-degree weather for like 10 days in a row.
Right.
But everybody, I mean, watching the players out there play well. Just what are your thoughts of just overall thoughts of the tournament? Obviously, like you said, you guys were runner up, and I mean USC, 17 under on the first day. I know as a coach, like you want to get out to a fast start. Gets to go wrong the next day, but usually doesn't at this level. But man, just your thoughts of the obviously battle in the weather, but the course looks phenomenal.
The course is in great shape, and we try to play it as difficult as we can. We always hope we have a little bit of an advantage playing at home, but the heat really wasn't an advantage this week because it was really hot for all of us, and usually hot for this time of year. And we had to really make sure it's an abrupt change in weather. I mean, 2 tournaments ago, we were wearing ski caps. So I don't know that there's another sport besides us that has such a tremendous amount of change from week to week. Of 1 week, we have hand warmers and ski caps. And the next week, we battled rain in Hawaii, which was great, but it was pouring, and we were playing in it. And then this week we had high heat. So making sure our freshmen are wearing the sleeves that we have, and drinking their electrolytes was super important, and eating and all of those things, and making sure that they're all doing that. So it's a great experience. It's a great time to be home. It's so nice that I get to just drive, stay in my own bed this week and go home, and that's a really cool thing. And our sport's a little bit unique. I'm completely in charge of our schedule. All head coaches are, and I don't think there's another sport like that. And we work hard to cultivate that and make sure that we do have that type of a field. And you have to do things right in order to have good teams come back. And it is, sometimes we reciprocate, and if a team invites us and helps us, then we try to make sure we've got a spot for them here. And different things, different things can affect lineups and things. And the 500 rule has become a very big talking point in our sport now that we never had before, that you have to, this time of year, you've got to make sure you're at 50% wins. And again, so for example, there's 16 teams in the field. The champions got 15 wins. And so then that goes into that corner. So obviously USC doesn't have to worry about that. But if you could be ranked in the top 50, but if you're on the wrong side of 50%, you will not get a bid to regionals. Oh, wow. They bump you. And so a lot of that can be impacted by scheduling. Right. So it's changed a lot. Our ranking system has changed a little bit. We're trying to still navigate that a little bit and what that really means. And every team's trying to figure that out to make sure that they are not negatively impacted by their schedule. And so we put a tremendous amount of time into the schedule. And golfers that come here want a tremendous education, want great weather, and often they want to have an opportunity to play professionally, as we have starting tomorrow. The LPGA is in Phoenix at the Rowan, and we're excited for our alumni that are there. Yep. I think we have 4 for sure, maybe 5 playing, and that's the goal, is to have a great schedule, is that you're playing against the top competitors every year. You are going from rain to cold to different things, because that's life of a pro golfer. And I can't think of anything worse than spending 4 years in college and not having an opportunity to play in the grasses affect us, the winds affect us, the temperatures affect us. And you play, you watch it, especially in the PGA Tour, how their schedule is so West Coast, and now they've moved back to Florida. And they played Florida for a while, and you can see how certain players play better in certain conditions and certain grasses. And so the more often that you're able to pivot back and forth and have that flexible, nimble muscle in your brain, it's very important. And we have no idea where we'll go for regionals. So wherever we get sent, it's not going to be close because we're not hosting. And we won't know until selection day. And wherever we go, we'll have to be able to pivot. And we could absolutely be somewhere where we'll need hand warmers, and somewhere where we'll need our umbrellas. And so having our team being able to handle that from week to week, I think is very important.
Well, speaking of handling it, you gave away the trophy for the low score to the freshmen. Right. It's back-to-back years.
Yes.
Last year, Iowa won it.
Yeah.
And this year,
Rubron won it.
Yes.
Yeah, our brand new freshman.
Yeah. I was going to say, so back-to-back low scores. And, you talk about, and coaches talk about the courses and the challenge, but they get really good coaching too. And yes, of course, it's Arizona State, so awesome academics. Right. No argument there being an alum. But yeah, for a freshman, obviously, it looks like, down, and like you said, you're that's one thing that, as a freshman, okay, you want to do good, and you see what the upperclassmen do. And I know we talked about this last year, it's a big individual team sport. Everybody's swing is unique to them. Right. I can't look at they can't look at you and be like, oh, I'll do that with my maybe take something from it, maybe technique wise. But to have back-to-back freshmen though, to get to that, get the low score. How awesome is that?
It's wonderful, and it's such an achievement. Because Phi was runner-up as well as the freshman, and she's playing. She feels she's a tremendous player. It's a huge adjustment as a freshman, and she just started with us in January, and so the first couple of tournaments she was just trying to get her equilibrium, so to speak. Yep. And the fact that she's done it by now and has been turning in good week after good week after good week. I'm really happy for her and love to see what's down the future. And
you also, before we wrap on this tournament, but you have, is it 2 players headed to the Masters too?
Yep, headed Augusta Women's National Amateur. Yep, and 1.
And that is
Patience. Patience is making her debut after suffering an injury to her leg. She's been out the last 5 tournaments, 50% of our season, so it's been a little rough for our number 1 player. But that's, again, even more to finish second in this field without patience.
Yeah.
They've really responded. They've really answered the call the last, month or so when we're, I tease and I say to them, I go, we're trending upward, and we are, and that's a beautiful thing. And Patience will make her debut after her injury next week, and I'm really excited for her. I know she's nervous, and then she'll be back with us hopefully for conference and regionals and nationals.
That is, again, I mean, to go to Augusta, get to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you this real quick. Because obviously, in prepping for the course, I know you obviously have your practice rounds, but at some point, I mean, when even as an amateur, when you're playing that, what's your advice to keep them calm? Because I got to think. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think it's deer in headlights.
My advice is, and I've kind of talked to them, each of them separately, and I think that the first time you go, it's so a little bit overwhelming, and then all your family wants to come, not just your parents.
Yep.
And all your friends, and then it becomes a big thing because you have a lot of people there cheering you on. But when you're not really used to that, and then you're worried, is everybody where they're supposed to be? Do I need to have dinner with everybody? Do I need to? And really, the best way to play the ANWA is to have your head down, treat it like a major, treat it like a pro,
Yep.
and get in, get your rest, figure out exactly how you're going to handle the 2 practice rounds, and then move into that space of then right into Champions Retreat, because you have no room to spare. You've got to play well at Champions Retreat both days in order to play at Augusta on Saturday to have a chance to win it. And so if you are not fully rested, fully ready, fully prepared, those 2 days. So I took Beth and I did a side trip after Darius Rucker and went and got another day. And at first she was like, is this overkill? And I'm like, no, you're behind on rounds at Champions Retreat. And not to stress her out, but a lot of, she's only played it once. So the people, the girls that are really in the mix, they've gone and played extra practice rounds. This might be their third ANWA. Some they're even their second, their third or fourth. And so the more often, and she was like, there's a couple holes that I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't wasn't quite sure what to do on that hole, but now I feel like I have a better. So now when she goes into her prep next week and her practice, I really hope that it will help her feel more settled and ready to go for when she starts at Champions Retreat and save your patience.
Yeah, obviously they're talented enough. Just take a breath and play some
Right.
golf, right?
Right.
So to wrap this up, obviously runners up, and then now regionals is the next thing, right? For you guys?
Conference.
Or conference.
The
Sorry.
Big 12
is
is in
next thing.
Dallas, actually, and so the Big 12 has grown and grown and grown, and there are, I want to say, at least 4, maybe 5 teams in the top 25.
Yeah.
And so we've now become a lot more significant, and it's really, we've got to have our A game. It is not a clear-cut winner by any means. It can be, I don't even know how many teams could have a shot at it, but there's a lot of teams, and so it's a great, we want to go in and give it our best shot. It's a great prep for regionals and hopefully, knock on wood, nationals. So that's kind of where we're at.
Absolutely. Well, and again, this tournament, obviously, I know it's that final stretch of the season, but still so, and like you said, I mean, just they do such a great job, and like you said, being partners with Ping, who again does a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
And
Ping's a tremendous partner of ours, and we appreciate everything they do.
And you do a phenomenal job as well too. She's
Well,
been at
thank
it
you.
for a minute.
Thank
It's an
you.
international team. I was seizing all the other coaches now because they're more international players. I'm outside of soccer, popping up, but
Right.
I was like, you're kind of getting on Coach Missy's bandwagon with the international players, right?
We've got a lot of anywhere and everywhere, and we cast our net wide, and from right in our backyard to all over the world. So it's a lot of fun. I love what I do. I'm extremely blessed.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job. This is Missy Farquet again, runners up USCA Coach said it best at the awards ceremony. They got out to a hot start, 17 under in round one as a team, and they pretty much stayed consistent the rest of the time. But you guys are good at even last year. Last it's making charges and charging back up. 12 under, obviously very respectable. We're going to let her go. She's got to start, again, it never stops for her, but so glad you're back here on Pitchfork Lunch with me.
Thank you.
We'll step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming up. And yes, my golf game will be a little bit better because at least I sat next to greatness.
Right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, back here on Pitchfork Lunch again. Got to catch up with Coach Missy Farquet yesterday. Absolutely love doing that, like I said, wrapping up the tournament. Hence, that's why I put the programming alert. Pitchfork Lunch will be back at its regular scheduled time tomorrow because, one-man band in it. But, you guys know I love it. And, couldn't do the show from there. But like I said, wanted to check out the golf and watch. And, again, it was, that was pretty good coming down the stretch. So, but yes, so I love it, and I didn't realize, her talking about the regional. So I gotta reach out to her again and talk about this rule. But after the Masters, I got some time. So looking to get it's like Beth Coulter on the show along with Patience Rose. Had her on last year after the tournament. We did the interview from out there. So absolutely awesome. But yeah, I mean, you look at what her team has done, and for Pi, like she said, for Rubrong. I mean, the 7 under, a freshman, just got here, as in January, and like she said, she had to get her feet, catch her feet, and it's and that's the thing, as a golf coach, like you said, your swing is going to be unique to you. Yes, there's certain things that swing must have, as I like to put it, but not all of them can be as beautiful and perfect as mine, as you guys know. Okay, you can stop laughing now. Anyway, no, but yeah, I mean, like she said, and coming to these tournaments and playing in Hawaii, like she said, and the Darius Rucker, and you're in South Carolina, and you're in Hawaii, and I mean, wait, they've also been to South Carolina, Hawaii, but let's see, where did Yeah, they were in Minnesota. I mean, back in September, the Annika Intercollegiate, they played in Minnesota. The Mason Rudolph Championship in Tennessee, the Windy City Collegiate, yes, as you can imagine, in Wilmette, Illinois. And then that was in September. In October, they played at the Stanford Intercollegiate, which obviously is in Palo Alto there. And then the NAIA Invitational, October 27th through 29th, which is in Hawaii. And then this year they had the Therese Hessian Regional Challenge in Palos Verdes, California. And then the Arizona Intercollegiate, where they were down in Tucson. So again, knowing the climate in general very well. And then the Darius Rucker, like I said, which is in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. That was March 2nd through 4th. And then the Dr. Donis Invitational back in Hawaii, March 17th and 18th. In Kaneohe, Hawaii. And then, of course, Papago, and now the Big 12 Conference Championship, which is April 23rd through 25th. So just about a month out in Dallas. And then NCAA Regionals will be May 11th through 13th. That's obviously to be determined because they're not hosting this year, so we do not know where they will be. And then NCAA Women's Golf Championship, that's at the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa in San Diego, the home of Ron Burgundy. Oh, and one Jillian and Colby Neal from Jillian Neal obviously still here, but Colby Neal, her sister, transferred in last year, but home of the Neals, so they're a big deal. But yeah, but look, yeah, and it's a bummer for you to get to go out and, check them out this year. But again, you can go to Dallas, check them out in Big 12, or for Big 12s and then regionals, who knows? Maybe they'll be somewhat close. So you can always find that out. But yeah, again, so stoked, 12 under, and just overall, like I said, as a group, as a group, you look at it, guys, and Coulter, like I said, Rubrong 7 under, Coulter 3 under, Paula Schultz Hansen 2 under, Isla McDonald O'Brien, Johanna Axelson was 2 over, Isla McDonald O'Brien 3 over, and then Kate Dillon, she finished 3 over as well. But yeah, you look at Rubrong, and in yesterday's round, she had 2 birdies and 1 bogey. So you're, 1 under for the day. But yeah, just again, consistency and accuracy, shooting pars. It's like throwing, playing marbles with somebody. I'll, play it all day. Just get close, par. Knock it in for par. Knock it in for par. She birdied 9, which is a par 5, 5-12. She birdied 9. So did Isla McDonald O'Brien. Isla McDonald O'Brien had 3 birdies yesterday and 3 bogeys, so hence the even par. But still, but Rubrong, yeah, she birdied 9, which was, like I said, she had 2 birdies, 1 bogey, and the rest pars. And then she also birdied 14, which was a par 4, 360 yesterday. But yeah, it's like I said, to finish 7 under par. But yeah, as a team, again, 3 over the highest, and yeah, they know they can obviously, competitors themselves, they know they can shoot better. Obviously, that's why they're here, or their score can be lower, but yeah, just overall as a team, just consistency. And Beth Coulter yesterday had 4 birdies and 2 bogeys. She bogeyed the 3rd hole. You look at the front 9. She parred holes 1 and 2, and then holes 4 through 9. She bogeyed 3. You look at the back 9. She parred holes 11, 12, and 11, 12, 14, and 18. She birdied 10, 13, 15, and 16, and then she bogeyed 17. But yeah, I mean, just again, consistent golf and, adjusting the course, hitting shots. Like Coach said, adjusting the climate. So Beth Coulter, again, the seam looking good. And you get Patience Rhodes back. She's going to make her debut there and then have her for Big 12s and then for regionals, nationals. Like that's absolutely huge. So, yeah, very, very stoked about that. But yes, let's get to baseball. They got, like I said, they got the 10-4 win over New Mexico State. They were 12 of 36 overall. They hit 333 as a team yesterday with 10 RBIs and obviously 10 runs scored. They, had 3 walks, but they did strike out only like 9 times. So when I say only 9, think of that. That's one. Okay, you're getting 1 strikeout an inning, but like that's again a rarity. But again, Landon Harrison, we're going to hear from him right now, along with Josh Butler and New Contratus. But yeah, he was 2 for 3 again with 1 RBI, 3 runs scored, 2 walks. Yeah, he hit a home run, as did, like I said, New Contratus. And so, anyway, yeah, you know what? Let's get right to them. Here is the boys after the, again, 10-4 win. 2 midweek wins. Again, held on to beat UNLV 12-11. And we'll hear from Willie Bloomquist. Again, that got a little crazy. But still, the grit, the battle to hold on, get the win, and then turn around and New Mexico State is here and you take care of the Aggies. But here is Josh Butler, Landon Harrison, and New Contratus.
I mean, it felt awesome. First of all the glory and honor and praise to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. He's brought me through it all, with all the injuries that I've been through. He's been my rock, the one I fall back to in the ups and downs.
I guess reflecting on the last few weeks, how much was it kind of eating you to not be able to play in those series, TCU, Kansas State, but then how impressed were you with this team to be able to hold their own and kind of take those series like they did?
Yeah, I mean, this team's full of studs, man. I mean, top to bottom, this is probably the best lineup and staff I've seen. And it's been awesome. Obviously it sucks not being able to play, but just knowing that these guys are awesome. They're gonna step up. So yeah.
To piggyback off that, you're saying the best lineup, but I mean, I know Coach always talks about playing complementary baseball. I mean, getting, the pitchers getting the ball right back, obviously, to you guys supporting them. Do you feel like, in your time here, that so far this might be the best complementary team that you've played on?
I mean, I think so. I mean, like I said, this team is awesome. We're a tight-knit group, and, when hitters don't got it, our pitchers are able to step up. When they don't got it, we try best to step up too. So I think it's been awesome so far this year.
For Landon or you guys score 8 runs in the first. You send 12 to the plate, then it gets quiet after that. Did anything change offensively?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe trying to get too big at times, but that happens all the time in baseball. Even on to the next game, when you score a bunch of runs, sometimes it comes out flat the next day. But still working through those things and trying to stay consistent every inning and going about it the right way every inning. So yeah, we picked it up at the end though.
And what's the biggest challenge, and maybe for you, in staying patient? Because obviously, the way wants to really, it seems like pitchers don't want to throw anything to you, but what's that balance for you, and how tough is that just to stay patient and take the walks if you get them?
Yeah, I think just looking for a good pitch to hit every at bat. If it's not that good of a pitch, and just taking it until the next one. I think that's kind of where I had trouble last year, was just getting out of my strike zone and swinging at too many pitches early in counts and not really letting the at bat play out. But yeah, just trying to look for a good pitch to hit, and if it's not there, on to the next.
Landon, I know there's not a quote-unquote secret sauce to hitting, but is there anything different you're doing this year to obviously propel you into some insane success?
No, nothing's really different. A little bit mechanical tweaks here and there, but it all happened kind of natural, kind of changed for the better. So, yeah, no, nothing changed with the routine though.
Josh, usually, especially these midweeks, can say a lot about pitching depth. I mean, you saw it on Monday. Easton had a career high 9 strikeouts. Colin looked really good today. You had 5 strikeouts. What have you kind of made of the depth of this pitching staff, the bullpen, the rotation compared to especially years past?
Yeah, you said it earlier, but like this team like just feels complete, you know. And I think like we are so tight knit as a group, as a staff, as a complete team. Like when we come together, like everyone knows that they're going to go out there and have success. Like we all trust each other to go out there and just be themselves.
And Josh, on the other side of that too, I should say build on that. Obviously, it's competition with you pitchers, but how much do each of you just kind of pick each other up when you see like the guy before you like just dominating like he is, and for you to go out there and just kind of keep that momentum going?
Yeah, momentum's huge. You know, like it's this thing when like they're hitting and they're hot. You know, so. But sometimes it's not that way. You know, but like I said earlier, like we're all so tight knit and like we all love each other and like we want success for each and every person we go out there at the time.
Landon, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier with Newell, you guys still maintain your guys' success offensively. So how big is it now adding Nuke back into that equation?
It's huge. I mean, he's one of our best bats, if not our best on the team. So I mean, it's huge having him back. And like you said earlier, we knew that some guys were going to step up when he went down. Obviously, you never want to see that, but we knew we had guys that were going to step up and try and fill the role as best they could. We did that pretty well.
Josh, what did you like from Colin this evening?
He's a beast, man. He just goes out there every time and just gives it everything he's got, and that sets the tone early for the rest of the guys in the pen. Like you set the tone early, everyone else is going to pick up off that. So he does a great job of that every time.
Josh, when you see those other relievers come in, younger guys, you know, Austin Musso comes in after you, Finn Edwards later in the night, underclassmen. You know, what is it like for you guys that have been around for a little bit to see those younger guys starting?
Yeah, it's awesome, especially like when they are like new to the program as well. So I remember being in that situation, and like it is hard sometimes because like you feel like you have to prove yourself or like go outside of who you are. But like I said, I think it's just a testament to the coaching staff and some of the other guys we have on the team just to be role models and remind these guys like just go out there and be who you are and we got your back.
Lynn and Willie kind of talked about over the offseason that you worked really hard to get physically bigger, kind of gain some muscle mass. Have you felt like this season, those deep fly balls that kind of scraped the wall at the end of last season or over the course of that year are starting to turn out runs this season?
Yeah, I think getting stronger obviously helps. It's never going to hurt you, but getting more backspin on the balls too. I was kind of knuckling and topspinning a lot of balls last year, so trying to find that backspin out on the field and being consistent with it, I think that's played a huge role.
Has Ellison, Coach Ellison, is he kind of a big part of helping you figure that out?
For sure, yeah. Me and him worked a ton in the fall, staying through balls and getting backspin whenever you can. And yeah, that's really all that's kind of changed in my mind, but the approach stays the same, the routine stays the same.
New with obviously the chaos on Monday night and looking ahead toward a huge series over the weekend. Some may have called this game a trap game. What was your mentality, your mindset going into this one?
I mean, we always have the same mindset, no matter who we play. You know, we're going to try and outcompete the other team every time. And we keep that same mentality. It should come with the same energy every game. Obviously, coming off a big weekend, it's tough sometimes to get up, but you know, the coaches do a great job of getting us up and getting us ready for every game.
Josh, kind of build off of that a little bit. Obviously, it was a long weekend going into that Monday game, and then you know, bullpen doesn't have the best and stuff at the end of the game. Was it kind of a mentality for this game to kind of get back on that a little bit? And obviously, bullpen had a great game today.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt too. You know, like sometimes things don't go your way. It's the game of baseball, right? Like we chose to play this sport, but yes, definitely like when I come back out and just do it all over again and see different results.
Finally, when Willie called that timeout, though, did he just tell you to go out there, swing first pitch, and hit a bomb?
No, he was actually buying time for Finn Edwards to get going in the pen. I don't think he said more than 2 words out there. He was just saying getting Finn ready, and yeah, I said I needed to catch the ball out front a little bit here, and ended up doing that. That was that.
You know, now West Virginia coming into town, how excited are you to get back right before that series?
I mean, I'm pumped, you know, to be a tough matchup. But, you know, we're gonna come ready and, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Did enough to get a dub, which was great. Came out early and swung the bats outstanding. A lot of good contributors out of the bullpen today. Just talking to the boys, I think, you know, part of this little stretch that we're on here with a lot of games and in a short amount of days, we haven't had we aren't practicing much. We're just playing games, and I think a little bit of mental fatigue is happening a little bit, which is uncharacteristically poor defensive plays. You know, offense that we come out and score a bunch, and then we just kind of mentally lose our approach a little bit. So those are things that we have to clean up. That it was kind of the message after the game, just to keep grinding mentally more so than physically. We're making some mental mistakes that I'm not real wild about, but again, did enough to get a win tonight. Good bounce back by a couple guys. Eli Buxton, after a tough outing on Monday, coming back and having a great ninth inning there to allow us to give our back end bullpen a little bit of a rest. That was big. Finn Edwards threw a great. Colby Guy continues to establish himself as one of our main dudes out of that pen. You know, moves through it okay, and we kicked it around behind him a little bit, which got ugly there that inning, but again, Josh Butler threw a great. Linder got us off to a decent start. Command still a little bit spotty, but all in all, had enough stuff to get us through three and come out with the win, which was big.
Would you make a new Contreras' return? Didn't look like there was any rust to shake off there.
No, he came in. Nice to have him back. So we toyed with we've kind of pinch hit him this weekend at Kansas State. Just to we knew he was getting close and itching to play, and we thought it was over and in the books. And that continue to make sure to be smart with him and much for my liking. And those are things we got to clean up. So again, it's great to have the win. Great to put another one in the column, but there are things that we have to really continue to drive home to these guys if we want to be the team that we want to be.
Going back to New, do you foresee kind of keeping him on this plan of kind of easing him back heading into this weekend?
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how he is tomorrow. See if there's any soreness. He said he felt great tonight after we took him out, and I'm assuming he's going to probably feel good tomorrow. We'll the intention of playing him on Friday and see where that goes. So it would be, again, we'll play it day by day with him, but the main thing is we've got him back Jesse Lohman, our head trainer, has done a really good job getting him back in a much timelier fashion than I was anticipating. Again, our biggest thing is just to continue to make sure to be smart with him and hopefully no setbacks, but I'm not taking the aggressiveness away from him. That was pretty awesome to see him come back and swing the bat like that tonight.
Can you speak on, you know, Landon's continued success? Obviously, it's got to be nice to have a guy like that at top of your order.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. You know, he just kind of goes unnoticed when he only has 2 hits, you know, and a home run. It's like, oh, well, he walked twice as well. He was on base 4 times tonight, and he just continues to be a staple at the top of the lineup. He's special kid, special player. He just continues to stick within himself, and you know, said it time and time again, just the fact that he's a year more physical and more mature than he was last year. On that ball in the 8th inning or 7th inning where he hit the home run, and that's just a clear image of him just getting more physical. That's a double last year. That's a homer this year. And next year, that thing's going to be on the street. So. He just continues to progress and get better.
So to add to that too, I know I've asked you before about him, but like just the patience. I mean, the way he's hitting. But you mentioned the 2 walks. Like, what's the biggest challenge for somebody? I mean, that's hitting like he is so dominant, but just to stay patient and stick with the plan.
Well, I think that's one of the things that makes him a special hitter is that he's very disciplined. His play discipline's off the charts. He doesn't chase off the plate very often. He may get fooled like anybody, at times, but he's very good at saying, "Oh, that was just off," and you go back and look the next day, and like, yeah, that's right, it was just off, and got called a strike, but it was just off. So his plate discipline and knowledge where he's at on the plate is really probably the thing that makes him, other than the special hands that he has, just makes him a complete hitter. It's just his overall plate discipline.
Nice bounce back tonight from Colin. What did you make of his appearance?
From
Colin.
From Linder? Yeah, it was good. Again, I'm critical. I think he threw the ball fine. We had a big careless error there with 2 outs in the third that cost him about 25 more pitches and a run. Probably could have gotten 4 out of him at least, and that extended that inning to raise his pitch count up to 75 pitches or so. And make that play. He's out of the third with 55 pitches, and now we can go maybe get him a 4th or even 4 plus. But those are where the mental cost of the error. That wasn't a tough play. It was just a very routine, easy play that we booted there. And it's not the error; it's how many pitches that are taxed to that guy after the error. I think they got a base hit, and then it might have been a walk, and then a base hit. We gave up a cheap run there. Those are things we can't do. If you're going to make an error on a tough play, okay, I get it. But that's just a routine, easy play that cost him potentially another inning. Was he overly sharp? No, I think he can be better. But bottom line, did enough to get us off and rolling and have a decent start.
Kind of piggybacking off that, Easton had a great outing on Monday after his struggles early on in the season. With him and Linder, what kind of roles do you foresee with them moving forward? Do you think about maybe using them in the weekend again?
It's things are ever changing, I guess, and we evaluate every week kind of and see where we're at and who's throwing the ball the best and who fits into certain roles. I've said it before, your positions are rented and not owned. And you got to pay the rent every time you're out there. And if you fail to do that, a few times in a row, then another guy steps up. But we're continuously changing roles and seeing where guys are at. Again, I mentioned Colby Guy, the way he's been throwing the ball lately. He's getting a bigger role. Taylor Penn, the way he's throwing the ball, he's getting a bigger role. And so the way that Easton threw it was great to see him starting to progress to get back to form the way he's capable. We're going to need another left-handed arm on the weekend, whether that's in a relief role or a back end role or a matchup role, or who knows, if he keeps chucking it great, maybe it ends up being a starting role. We're going to need more than 3 starters when this thing's all said and done. We're going to need more length and more starters.
For Easton, what was kind of the key of getting him back to where he was kind of at the end of last season? I know, early on it just felt like really didn't have it, but then Monday looked like night and day different. Was it kind of a mental thing, a confidence thing?
I think maybe a little confidence thing. If you go back and look at his first 2 starts of the year where he walked a lot of guys, he was doing a really good job of jumping ahead and then just missing off the plate, and then got into situations where he had to throw a strike and missed, and then I think that just snowballed a little bit mentally on him. And obviously we preach trying to limit the free passes, and he's got a lot of them. That plays a little bit on the mental part of things, but he's done a really good job responding and rebounding and kind of settling things back in and getting back on track. So that's great for him. It's great for us. We're going to need him to keep progressing the way he has been and continue to keep getting better, because that kid's he's got a great arm and knows how to pitch. It's just a matter of continuing to attack the zone and work ahead. We're going to need another, especially another left-handed arm.
Josh Butler picked up the win today, struck out 5 of the 8 batters that he faced. What did you like seeing out of him tonight?
JB did a good job keeping guys off balance. Threw a little bit with better conviction today from what I saw. The breaking stuff was good, and he started getting kind of that sink back a little bit on the fastball. That was encouraging. Again, understanding what type of pitcher he is and attacking with his strengths, I think is going to be big for him moving forward. That was, again, another step in the right direction for him.
With the last couple of games just being quite eventful and a big series looming this weekend, some may label tonight's game a trap game. What was your message before the game to your team?
Well, I think any type of a trap game was eliminated on the 8th inning on Monday. That was the trap, and we almost got bit, and that was probably one of the worst innings that I've been on the flip side of in a long time, where it's like, man, we were rolling, we were reeling, we could not get out of that inning. Things were snowballing, and just had that eerie Las Vegas feeling that something crazy's happening and this isn't good. And for us to come out of that with the win was huge. It wasn't pretty, but it was huge. But I think that was our wake-up call for there not being a trap tonight. Because we focused on that. Like, hey, you can never, your standards are your standards, regardless if you're down 10 or you're up 10 or you're up 1 or down 1. You have to come out and play consistently with the mental edge every time out there, regardless of the score. It doesn't matter. There's a standard to uphold, and whether from a team's perspective and from an individual perspective. So we obviously talked about that after Monday's game, and told them today, hey, we don't play West Virginia today. We play New Mexico State, and we have to come out ready to play. These guys are capable of putting up big numbers and being in a dogfight with us. So come out, set the tone, which they did a great job of. Now it's finish. Continue to pile on and finish when you have the opportunity. So again, things we can improve upon and get better, but they got it done, and now we can turn the page and look forward to West Virginia.
Your offense facing 8 different arms today. How did you think they did keep chipping away, facing seemingly somebody different every inning?
Well, again, it's not always easy. I don't care what kind of arms or what caliber of arms you're seeing there. It's always going to be tricky when you only see a guy for one inning and then another guy. And they ran some decent arms out there too. That had some different stuff. Guys that have fastball playing up, guys with big breaking balls, guys that pitch backwards. So for us to sit and kind of try to put a rally together off a new guy every inning, it was difficult, and it can be difficult. So again, we only put up 2 runs after the first, and we had to scratch those across. So those are one of the challenges of these midweek games. Is you have to. There's always crazy things that happen, and again, some programs like to do that, throw one guy every inning, and it makes it very challenging. So we did enough to scrap and battle and get a win, which is great. But continuing to stay disciplined to an approach is sometimes challenging with that. But again, it's what we're in. We're in their jobs to make it difficult on our hitters, which they did a good job after the first inning tonight.
Looking at the West Virginia series now, the Mountaineers haven't played. This will be their first ranked opponent they face this year after the CCU series. They made 8 for you guys this year. Do you think experience like that could factor into a series going on this weekend?
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to beat good teams. You're going to have to beat teams with losing records that play great that day. They're a very well coached team. They have a lot of talent in that team. We're going to have to come ready to play and play really good baseball, because it's going to be a good weekend. Just looking a little bit at their pitching staff, they got guys that can really chuck it and are really good on the mound. They play lockdown defense. They can swing it. So they're a complete package. They're real, and we're going to have to come with our A game ready to play. But it'll be a great test for us. Again, to your point, that was part of the reason for scheduling with that week of 4 SEC teams, 5 games, was to challenge our guys and understand, okay, we're going to play good teams in conference that are going to be equally as good as these guys, and that hopefully prepared us. Win or loss, obviously we want a few more wins during that stretch, but hopefully that prepared us for what we're going to encounter. I certainly think it did for the first 2 weekend series against TCU, is a great team, and Kansas State, I don't think they've lost a home series in a couple of years, and to go there against that offensive club, man, that was good to take 2 or 3. Obviously, we laid an egg on Sunday, but to come out of there with 2 wins was big. And I think again, those are all things that are preparing us for these weekends that are going to be tough and grueling. And we don't anticipate this being any different. They're a good, very good, well coached team. So we've got to work it out for us.
Any update on Nikolai late in the game?
No, I wanted to get Briggsy in there last 2 innings and keep him sharp, going to just fine back there. And there wasn't any injury or anything. That was just me wanting to get Briggsy in there in the 8th and 9th and keep him sharp as well.
You said earlier that you might have had to refocus some players about the game today instead of West Virginia. Would you say the anticipation level for that series kind of right amongst the players is pretty high?
To be perfectly honest, I don't think they were worried about West Virginia today. Now that this game is over, we certainly are. But this team is very good. So far has been very good at just staying focused on the present and what we got today. They understand. We've talked about it at length on how these midweek games can screw up your season if you don't show up and be ready to play. It's done in the past to us, and you see it every week. There's ranked teams that get beat by a team that I've never heard of, right? Respectfully, I'm like, who's that team? I've never heard of them. And they're beating a top 25 team every single week. So it's good learning material for these guys. And if you don't show up ready to play, you're going to stub your toe against these teams that are ready to play against you. You have to be ready on all of them. So now that this one's over and in the books, obviously we made it a point now that, okay, now we turn the page and we got to clean things up and sharpen up and be ready to go this weekend. Because it'll be, imagine Muni will be hopefully packed. Fans tonight for a midweek game, huge attendance tonight, which was again awesome. But having, I think this weekend will be hopefully sold out or close to it, and be an intense weekend against a really good team.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Put out Josh Butler, Landon Harrison, New Contreras, and manager Willie Bloomquist, head coach Willie Bloomquist. And like you said, I mean, there are things, and yeah, you can always improve. And he's not just, pointing out that. I mean, he said, you heard him say, talk about getting the win and doing enough, getting the 10 runs. And then he said, maybe the approach. But that's why I asked him about Harrison, about when he talked about his improvements, saying, hits that home run. And he goes, last year, that would have been a double off the wall, which, again, not a bad thing. This year, he said it's a home run. I love what he said after that when he said it. Next year, he goes, the thing will probably be out on the street. But, yeah, just, talking about the win. Yeah, 8 runs in the first, huge, and then, they don't score in the – well, and he talked about Colin Linder, the starting pitcher, the bullpen game. Maybe missed some pitches, wanted to get him thought he could have was thinking of having him go, obviously, to, the fourth, the fifth, and, fourth, at least the fourth, definitely the fifth. He gave up a home run to the first, to New Mexico State's leadoff batter, Steve Solorzano, and he cracked a home run, and, so it's 1-0. New Mexico State, and then we go to the bottom of the first, and they sent 12 batters up. You heard that question asked. 12 batters sent up to the plate, my friends. Absolutely just crushed it. But then, what it is, he's, and he goes, sometimes, you think you're going to score 8, every inning. And again, not like pressing, or just feeling like you're trying to go too big. And so, Neither team scored in the second. New Mexico State got one more in the third, but then ASU, who scored in the first, didn't score in the second, third, fourth, or fifth. They got one in the sixth, one in the seventh. Right after, and I mean, because it was 8-2 going into, or 9-2, sorry, going into the seventh. ASU got one in the bottom of the sixth. But then New Mexico answers with two in the seventh, and then the coach mentioned Vegas. You heard him talk about the trip to UNLV. I mean, that was a tough eighth inning, as you know, because we just couldn't get out of it. And every now and then, it's baseball. It'll happen, even if you are the better team. And I'm not saying anything bad about UNLV. Obviously, is isn't a terrible team, but you've done so much, and then you're up, and then all of a sudden they're coming back, but you hold on for a 12-11 win, and then the 10-4. But yeah, like I said, so it was 9 at the end of 6. It was 9-2, and then New Mexico State, because of the errors, again, ball getting kicked around, little things they have to shore up. And he said, that's from a standpoint there that they can clean up. But they get to make it 9-4, and then the Devils get one of those back in the bottom of the seventh, make it 10-4. Nobody scores in the eighth. New Mexico State doesn't score in the ninth. There you go. And now this team is 18-6 overall. Absolutely love it. West Virginia coming to town. They'll be here tomorrow, which is, yes, Friday. And also pro day going on. But yeah, West Virginia will be here this weekend. Softball's out of town. Lacrosse is playing, pardon me. Who does lacrosse have? Why am I Memento. I know that they do play. Oh, yeah, Florida on Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Sun Devil Lacrosse Stadium. So you're going to want to get out to that. Looking very, very forward to that. Yeah, so, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, pro day going on for football tomorrow, and then men's and women's tennis. Get to all that. But again, I digress to baseball. They get the 10-4 win. They are now 18-6. 19-6, pardon me. 19-6 overall. Yeah, 19-6 overall, 15-1 now at home. Again, the only blemish that game to TCU, but again, 2 conference wins. And you heard Coach talk about that too, and the players. I mean, yeah, you want to win. You want to win, but yeah, 15-1 at home, 4-2 away, 0-3 neutral site. And he talked about the schedule too, being in these games and being tested. And obviously, you played 4 SEC opponents in a row. The 2 games with Oklahoma, the 2-game midweeker where they won 15-3 and then lost 4-3. But again, bottom of the ninth, that definitely could have went their way too. And then you lose 8-4 to Mississippi State, 5-3 to Tennessee, and then 9-3 to A&M. But look, the first 2, Mississippi State, Tennessee, definitely games I feel like could have won. A&M seemed like death by 1,000 paper cuts, although ASU made some plays just offensively. Just I think the frustration may have built. And then you turn around and sweep LMU. You whoop that team down south. You host TCU to open up conference play. Again, drop the first one, win the next 2, get the series victory, beat GCU 4-3 in 10 innings, then to go to K-State, which Coach mentioned. You heard, I mean, they haven't lost many home series. And then, you win 5-4, 18-12. And he said, yeah, the last game got away from him. And then They lose 12-1, but then beat UNLV 12-11, beat New Mexico State. Then you got West Virginia again, 6:35 tomorrow night. And then yeah, 6:35 tomorrow night. And Saturday is also at 6:35, and then Sunday, oh, that's different. It's a 5:05 game. On Sunday. Oh. Well, I'll tell you about that tomorrow. I'm guessing West Virginia is playing somebody. Maybe they're playing Grand Canyon. I don't know, on Monday, but nonetheless, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6:35, 6:35, and 5:05. Let's see. And then, yeah. But look, I mean, you heard Coach talk about it there. This team, you're loving what you're seeing offensively, defensively, just absolute money. So, but that's going to do it for today, my friends. Again, big shout out to Missy Farquet, son of a women's golf coach. Again, catching up with her after the Ping ASU Invitational. They 12 under for the 3 rounds. Absolutely awesome. SC just happened to finish 23 under. Yeah, so forks up to Missy Farquet for that, and obviously Connor Smith for his phenomenal help in getting that. And then also, my friends, forks up, obviously baseball gets the win. And then, tomorrow we will hear from Coach Iguano and Coach Dillingham as well. So we will have that tomorrow. And go from there. So, yeah, have a phenomenal rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And, yeah, we'll get ready for the weekend and all that will be going on. So, yeah. And you guys know it. Thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball, it is #OurState. So just remember that, school down south, it is #OurState. I do remind you of that. And yeah, you guys know it. Go Devils. As always, go Devils. And yes, you know it. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here it goes again.
Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met. The backfield runs through the contact and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Revenge on this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
Today. This one the other way. Still going back. At the track. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries a. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.